First, we determine the front side of the product. This is the biggest side that the manufacturer uses for marketing purposes. We measure the height, the width, and the depth of the product. For the depth, we have to take care that we are measuring from the extreme points. For the height, don't forget to include the hanging clip. With unusual packaging shapes, it is not always possible to use sliding calipers. We use two simple bookends to determine the biggest measurements. The combination of the bookends and a metal ruler is a simple but reliable method of measurement. But the calipers can be used for measuring the width. For measuring the depth, we again use the bookends. Take care that you don't dent the packaging. The supports should touch the product but not misshape it. We use the digital sliding calipers here too. It is sometimes difficult to determine the front side when the product has more than one marketing side. In that case, the biggest side is the front. We will measure the height, the width, and the depth. We use the digital sliding calipers to measure the depth. When measuring the height, the calipers give an unreliable measurement because the edges are dented. We therefore use two simple bookends to determine the biggest measurements. We then measure between the edges of the bookends with the digital sliding calipers. Take care that the supports don't dent the edges. We use the same method to measure the width. Here again, we first determine the front side and then we measure the height, width, and depth. Take care with the depth as it is difficult to determine the biggest measurements of this product. We use large digital sliding calipers. We start with the height, moving the calipers along the product to be sure we take in the extreme points. Then the width, again moving the calipers to be sure of the precise measurement. For the depth, we use an additional aid. Using two bookends will ensure that we determine the precise measurements. With small digital sliding calipers, we then measure the depth. We determine the front side and again measure the height, width, and depth. To ensure that we don't accidentally misshape the box while measuring, we again make use of the bookends. The digital sliding calipers ensure we get a precise measurement. We measure at two sides. If there appears to be a difference between the two measurements, we opt for the bigger one. We measure the height in the same way. Ensure that the flaps of the box are not pressed in by the bookends while measuring. We then measure the depth by the same method.